running. There we go. I'm going to try some Reti openings, I think, in this stream. Palovo has a 1.5 to 1/2 record against me. I can play the Reti Gambit here. And he pushes. Yeah, that's the actual correct move. I'm going to have to try and undermine the center somehow. How do I do that? I guess I'm going to play E3. I guess it makes sense to play D3 though, so this bishop has a way out into the game, then get castled. Then we can play this. So it's sort of like a reverse Benoni. Let's take and see which way he takes back. You can take here and open up the king. Or I could take the other way. Okay, so that bishop is pinned, so I can attack it. Mess up his structure a little bit here. You can kind of egging black on into overextending in this opening. And he kind of walked right into it. And now he's got to think. Just castling would lose a pawn. Defending, I'll take, well, how can he even defend? Can't defend with a knight. He could defend with a queen. Yeah, he decides to give up the pawn. There's some compensation because he has open file for his rook. And my development is a bit lagging. Hey, Alpha South, welcome to the stream. This is the very first game. So you caught me here at the right time. Where does that rook want to go? Maybe here to help defend f2. And bring the bishop out. I have to get the bishop out so I can bring the knight out. Oh, I don't know. I could have considered knight like this, I guess. But if he just puts a pawn up, then I can't go there. Okay, he decides to trade. I don't mind. Next, we will bring the knight out. Or maybe I'll take this knight. And I think I like the idea of developing my knight better. I go to there or there. Yeah, maybe I get the knight here, then I take the knight, and then I bring my knight here. Something like that. If I put it here right away, you might just trade it off and leave this bishop hanging, pointing into thin air there. So yeah, he repositioned his rook. Makes sense. Yeah, I still like this idea of taking the knight and then bringing my my knight to this good square. Then I'll lift up my queen, bring the rook over. Maybe I'll play f5 here to kick this knight away. I'm not too anxious to grab this bishop, although that's something I could consider. Of course, if he leaves the rook here, I will take the rook. And the bishop on the long diagonal is looking good. Could stop here maybe. And actually, That's an idea now, right? Now that I painted it on the board, just take the bishop, queen takes, and then bishop here, pins the knight, wins the exchange. It's a dangerous opening. So I'll be up the exchange and a pawn, should be winning. I get my revenge on Apollovo. Okay, let's lift up the queen and bring the rook over. Oh no! This is why I lose to Apollovo. Okay, let's get another game. Somebody else this time. Well, it was a good outing. It was a good success. A successful opening. Professor Galois. Sicilian. Okay, I play a classical Sicilian. Ah, nice. Refreshing change of pace from the usual English attack. Plays with bishop e2 and castles kingside. I like to play that way sometimes too, although I've been getting into trouble lately with that one. Good morning, Tim Tim. Welcome to the stream. So he's going to push the f-pawn forward. Do I have a good answer to that? I could start these pawns going. Bong, 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 and then take here. But that's too slow because he goes here in one move, and then he's ready to push here or here. And it's too late for me to get my knight to this square. He pushes it right away, and I can't get to this square. Let's take here. Now I could put my bishop here, put a rook here. Or just maybe put the bishop on c6. Yeah. So now I am threatening this pawn. He defends. And now I can go after this guy. Good morning, Drinking Hobbit. How you doing? See, looks like we have the usual suspects here. Welcome to the stream. This is my second game. I lost the first game. I walked into a queen king fork. I placed my queen right on the square where he could fork it with the king. But I was doing well before that. So this is my second game. Bring the rook over. He seems to be having trouble. Dog Park and Art Museum today. Huh, sounds like fun. Are art museums open again? Yeah, I guess I did see the local art museum advertising. Well, Professor Galois is thinking, oh, he drops the bishop back. That's interesting. Maybe he's tempting me to take this pawn and then I'll have some sort of discovered attack. I'm still going with this idea of harassing the knight. He can just put it here. I'll take, he takes, and then I have to move my bishop. And I'll have a backwards e-pawn. But he'll have a weird pawn structure too. I don't know if it's any good. It'll be sort of isolated. I was about to say isolated, but he's actually got a pawn here, but it'll be a long way away from that pawn. So he brings his queen around to that side. Let's go ahead with the push. Yeah, that's what I was expecting. The bishop is also looking here. What should I do? I can move my bishop with tempo now. And there's two pawns hanging over here. And his rook is under fire. So he protected the dark squared pawn, but not the light squared one. Unless there's a trick here I'm not seeing. Oh, if he protected the other one, I could take here with the bishop and fork his two rooks. So he could have lifted his rook up here, though, and protected from the side. So now I'm threatening another pawn, and this pawn really is isolated. My weakness is this backwards e-pawn here. Milwaukee Art Museum is open. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so we take. He's got his queen and his bishop lined up here, but that's a pretty well protected point. Maybe he can get something out of it. Now, what to do here? Oh, his bishop is guarding this square. I was thinking, oh, there's a nice idea. Put the queen here, and he takes the bishop, and I go here and check, but it doesn't work. So here, just defend the pawn. So, okay, that's his idea. So he's going to attack like so. Let's attack back. Okay, well, let's think. I attack the pawn. He takes, I take. He sacrifices the bishop. I take. The queen takes. It's check. I mean, I have this bishop. Let's bring this bishop out. I see. I'm giving up that pawn. Is there a better way to do this? Here, I'll take back, and then he sacrifices the bishop. I can take, and the queen is defending. King to g7. Yeah, I think it's a problem. I think you've hit on a problem here. Bishop h6 is a problem. King to g7 would have been better. Well, bishop h6, I can retreat my bishop. Then I just lose this guy. Well, I'm still a pawn up, so. Yeah, there we go. The king gets to g7 eventually anyway. Maybe I can win this pawn here. He has a back rank problem here. So queen here would come with tempo. Threatening check here. Aha, so he fixes that problem. Let's go ahead and threaten to take the pawn. So forces him to take, I guess. So I have a check here, but the king just runs to h2. Not a problem. Let's defend here. If he takes and I take back, then I've got a check and a check. Yeah, let's go ahead and play this. He defends with the bishop. So I should have taken the bishop. I should have taken the bishop. Yeah, that's what happened in my other game too. I was doing well and then I make a mistake like that. Oh well. This king's sort of tied up. I'll play on a little bit. He takes on Passat. Yeah, I want to encourage his rook to take there, but he's going to go here instead. You're saying it looks bad. Yeah, I would say that's a accurate portrayal of the situation. I could take his king, take his bishop with check, and then take his queen, except I was in check. Yeah, it's not working. Okay, try again. Anyway, welcome to the stream, everyone. Reti, that's what we're trying this time. Oh, I meant to play the Reti Gambit. Okay, we got a different kind of opening here. So like a Queen's Gambit where I developed the other knight first instead of this knight, which is normally what I do. I could play it like a Catalan. Just leave this pawn hanging, see if he comes up with any great plan. He played 29 games yesterday. Wow, that's a lot. I think in a session like this, I usually play around 10 games. And that's about the longest I would play at a stretch. Were they a fast time control? Praz has really slowed down all of a sudden. Wonder if he's got connection problems or something. It doesn't say there's a connection problem. Is he really just thinking about taking that pawn? Bishop there. Not a move I was expecting. Looks funny. Why is the bishop here supporting these pawns? I see. He was waiting because I hadn't played this knight. Once I have a knight, then he knows what to do. He was confused by the lack of a knight on this square, so... Now he's gonna... I'm just saying, come on, take it, it's free. What now? Since he never took it, I should probably do something at this point. Multiple shorter sessions. Okay. So I go here. He's going to take. I take. Yeah, let's put the rook there first. Maybe he'll castle. No. Okay, now I can play this. So there's a threat here, the fork. So that's why I said he probably will take. He could move his pieces instead. Oh, not that one. That would be the wrong piece to move. Take with the pawn or the I think I'll take with the knight. Keep this file open towards his king. Here we go. I can take back with the rook here. So he unpins the knight. So I take this knight. What's he going to do? I like that I have this square under control. I need to break up the queen side a little bit here. Maybe I just leave everything like so and start pushing over here. Trying to make him uncomfortable no matter which side he castles on, but he chooses to castle on this side. Okay, this is cool. Let's set up for an immediate tactic. Yeah, let's start with taking there. Yeah, now I can play this little tactic. See where the queen goes. I don't know, maybe pushing the pawn was better. He just moves the queen, and then what have I got? But we'll see where the queen goes. Here. Goes there. So I have this check here. Maybe I can exploit it some way. I was so happy with the bishop there, preventing this pawn from coming forward, but it looks like it's stronger over here. looking at these squares, coordinating with the knight. So Drinking Hobbit, I don't know what that symbol is. Boom, boom, 28 top face. Okay. So he steps out of the way, but now I have the check. And what now? Drinking Hobbit gifted a tier 1 sub to Timo. All right, thank you for the sub, Mr. Hobbit. If he takes the pawn, I can bring a rook into that square. If he doesn't take it, I can try and bring a rook in here. At least my king's not under fire anymore. Would have gone queen a4 first. Ah, yeah. Queen a4 is good. I was thinking queen b3, but queen a4 looks good. Oh, no, that's interesting. So the knight protects this square where I was going to check, and it hits my rook. I'll peacefully retreat. This does open up a square for my bishop. His rook has no moves. There's this diamond of pieces around the rook. Hello, John. Things going good. Although I did start off with 2 losses, but the road to 1800 is a rocky one. Maybe that's what I'll call my next stream, the Rocky Road. Okay, he gave his rook a square it could run to. And he decided to give up. All right, I won one. Take that free pawn. h5. I wasn't really thinking about h5. Jobava is in order next round. I don't know. I haven't played that in a while. I'm not sure I'm up for it. New opponent. We'll see what we get. Well, I'm black anyway, so I will play maybe a Grinfeld. Oh, I will play some London system, it looks like. Lots of free pawns. Pawns on sale. I see. His knight is guarding that. So if I take his knight, he can take my bishop. I can take his bishop. He takes back. And things are a big mess. Or I take his knight, he takes back, and then I take the pawn. Let's mess things up a little bit. Is he going to take my knight just to get doubled pawns? Or is he going to let me play g5 and kick his bishop back? That is the question. I don't know if I will play g5. He takes. I have a favorite chess player of all time. Hard to say. I like a lot of different chess players. Maybe Morphy, Paul Morphy. He's such a dynamic player. And, you know, that interesting story coming on the chess scene. So if I go here and he lifts the rook, I can take a pawn, I guess. Not your typical London system, anyway. B2 pawn with check. I'm not seeing it. Hey Joe, how you doing? So I'm attacking this pawn. Let's see if he defends it. No, he doesn't. I'll take it. I guess he's concerned about castling queenside here. Making a study on the Traxler. Oh no. The Traxler is really, really a dangerous opening. Gives me chills just thinking about it. It is fun, yeah. Got to be sharp to play the Traxler. Oh, I dropped back. So what do I want to do? I think I want to castle queenside here. And then maybe put a rook on the c file. Step over rook here and then push the c pawn here forward. Queen can always run back if it gets chased, I'm assuming. Do I want to just take that knight? I think I do. Put rooks on the C and D files and push these pawns towards his king and queen. Oh, that's your study there? Yeah, I'll check that out. I think it's very interesting. I think it's a very interesting opening. Underrated. You know, people see you play that and they think, aha, I won an exchange or whatever. But big trouble. Big trouble happens. Ah, so he brings the queen over, attacks his pawn. But lets me do this, check. I think I should. I think I'm just in better shape than he is, and I should do this. This pawn is hanging, and I can continue to pile up the pressure. And if he pushes, I can take, and it'll become a weakness I can attack. Yeah, and he castles right into it. Can double. Ah, he can bring his bishop back to defend. And then I can start pushing pawns. Okay, brought his rook over. Here, let's do this first. Hey, Super Trooper. The doubled pawn is pretty good at preventing these 3 pawns from moving. Yep. Yep. So let's defend it. Now I think I can just start pushing these pawns, right? Maybe it's not so easy. Yeah, he's kind of turtled up here. I'm not sure how I make progress. Push the pawn anyway. He has to take this way. Yeah, if I could get this pawn all the way up here, but then he takes there. Ah, but not if he does that. He shielded his rook from the attack of the b pawn. He can't stop me from queening or breaking through here, right? Oh, he can stop me. Well, I can get a rook to the can get a rook to this file. Threatening mate. Yeah, I would think so. I would think that's big trouble. It's not a mate threat? Or does he have a defense? Yeah, he resigned. I mean, he could take the bishop. Taking the pawn doesn't work. So he has to move this rook. Can't move the king. He has to move this rook or take the bishop. Yeah, moving the rook is okay, isn't it? Still mate due to pawn. He's got this square. Rook b1. Yeah. Go after this pawn. All right, I'm better, but maybe he could have found a way out. And is that the same player challenging me to a game, or is that somebody else? No, it's 3-0. I'm not playing a 3-0 game. Okay, let's go back and play a regular blitz game. Rook takes bishop. Oh, the computer preferred rook takes bishop. E3. Whoa, now that's an opening. E3, C4. So, okay, it's in English. Um, and I can't, it's one of those cases where I can't, well, I could push the pawn anyway. You know, on c4, you usually want to play d4. So we'll get a some kind of Benoni. It's a reverse Benoni, a reverse check Benoni. Rook takes bishop and I mate. Moving rook next to king is the only solution that leaves you 5 points ahead. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I was sure I was better, but hard to say how much. So here's the question. Do I want to bring my knight out to defend this pawn? I guess I will. He can, if I try to defend with the bishop, he can push here. So let's go pin this knight. Let's take it. No two bones about it. And then let's slow down his push on the queen side here. Don't let him expand. That's the plan. Here or here? I think here. Look forward to a pawn break on F4 maybe. His bishop is king of dumb. Kind of dumb. I like that king of dumb idea. Okay, so he retreated. He's repositioning his knight. I'm not sure where. Oh, or is he just opening up his dark squared bishop so he can pin my knight? I was about to move my knight so that I can play F5. I want to play F5 here. Question is, where can my knight go? These squares are covered, so it really has to run back here, or E8. Ah, he doesn't want me to break. Can I play that anyway? Let's see what his idea is here. Just going to do a pawn storm. Okay, I'll clean out his queen side here. Ah, now the knight comes back. So you want that knight there after all. I have an idea. Yeah, I know that knight isn't really going anywhere, but what I want to do is get my knight to this square, get my queen here. Yeah, I still really want to play pawn to F5, but it looks like he's really not going to let me do it. So his idea is to win a pawn by taking the knight here. I like my knight. Maybe I'll trade. Well, I think the knight comes back. I was thinking about that, but I think the knight comes back the same way, as long as I don't take this bishop and open up this file for his rook. And then maybe the knight can come into this square. Okay, if that's the way you want to do it. Yeah, knight back, take bishop, and I've got a monster knight. Absolutely. But he stopped me from taking his bishop. And I couldn't take it beforehand because there was the danger of the knight getting trapped. But now I'm threatening to win a pawn here. We'll see what he does. He ignores it. Okay, so bishop takes, knight takes. Or, yeah, I like this one best. If he does nothing, I take the bishop and then go here. I think there's bishop takes knight there. Oh, it hits the queen. It hits the queen. I take his bishop with check. Yeah, okay. I was missing that. Scandinavian the World cartoon? Okay, I will check that out. Yeah, I think I'll just take that bishop and go here. Looks pretty good. So he's let me play f5 now too. If we come back to the original idea I had here. And, you know, what's his king doing? What is it doing? Ah, it's pinned. Okay, okay. Do I want to walk my king over in front of this pawn? Wants to sack and exchange. Yeah, maybe that's his best choice here. So he can't castle now. He could bring his bishop back. And I could put my big queen here and I would have this. He sacks the exchange. You were quite right. I have a check now. I don't have a check now. The queen is guarding that square. If I go here, what's he doing? Not sure. Yeah, let's just defend the pawn. If the queen leaves this diagonal, then I have a check. With a trick if he takes c7. Yeah, this same trick if he takes c7. Queen f3, though, he would just move his rook. How about... Oh, I can't go there either. So many places the rook wants to go. I'll just double. Why not double? The king looks to be running. I can give up the exchange myself to get queen here, rook here. That should be fatal. Okay, so let's check this. He's going to try and mate me on the back rank here, it looks like. I could start with a check. I could check here. Where's his king running? His king just runs back, and then I take here. This has got to be the right answer, and I'm low on time. He defends. He just defends with the rook. Yeah, he just blocks. It was too simplistic what I played. Okay, let's get a pawn. Let's get a queen, I mean. Okay, am I going to pull this one out? I think I can finish this one off. I think this one is doable. Okay, well, let's be relaxed about it. Struggle to convert with queen and two pawns. Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. There might be a stalemate in there. Yeah, I've done that before. You lost, but you don't want to resign, so you just keep playing. But you're not really trying anymore. You're just playing bad moves. That happens. Just sometimes I feel like that. Yeah, sometimes. If you ever tried to mate someone in a real game with, yeah, boarded. Okay. Uh, with a pair of bishops, I mean, it's a simple mate, but it can take a long time. I was once teaching chess to a group of kids, a classroom, and I was trying to show them the bishop mate, how to mate with two bishops. I was just talking about how you can mate with limited material, like with the rook. And I was just chasing the king around with the bishops, and one of the kids asked, "Do you really know how to do this?" That's funny. Do you really know how to do this, mister? Yeah, kind of. Kind of. Good old Ruy Lopez. I played around with bishop and knight against playing it against a computer until I could do it. But I probably couldn't do it anymore. But I did learn that at one time. But that's the way to test, you know. Set up a position where you can play against a computer. Okay, what are we doing here? While I was talking, he castled. Okay, so the castle is a sign of the gambit, the martial gambit. So I'll play an anti-martial. The W maneuver. Yeah, I don't know if I played the W maneuver. Let's see, how do I want to take? If I take with the pawn, he just takes, he pushes, right? So take with the bishop. Okay, he's looking at these pawns and this one, but I'll just grab this pawn. I don't think this is the way he was supposed to play it. I don't know, maybe this is the new thing. All the rage these days. Got his queen out. Ah, he's threatening mate. Let's see if we can notice the mates and stop them. Can we notice those mates? I have knight here with an attack on his queen. Just thinking I could kick this knight and then push the pawn. He can take my knight and then take here, get his pawn back. But his knight is hanging, so he'll do something about that first, I guess. He did. Oh, he went there. Well, this lets me have a nice solid structure. I took with the queen. So, what's the big plan here? I don't understand. Oh, mess up my pawns. Okay, that's a plan. Okay, he's looking at this pawn and this pawn. Which one is more important, or can I save them both? Very quick play. But he's given up a lot of pieces. Yeah, bishop takes knight first and then knight c2 would have been much better. Yep. Yeah, I saw that after I played my move. Even though the knight was hanging, when he takes my knight, it's hitting the queen. And then that knight there would fork. It would be nasty. Unpleasant. Let's trade off those rooks. He's going to go here, isn't he? Fork him now. Now you're threatening the bishop. Yeah, I missed that fork, I guess. Well, at least he stopped to think. Was there a fork here? Yeah, that was just a bad move. He just takes my knight and then takes here. It's all bad. Okay, he brought his rook there. That makes sense, but there is a mate on the back rank. So if I go here, he takes, I take, he takes, then I checkmate, right? Now you can just sack the queen. Doesn't work anymore, though. He gave himself Luft. He gave himself Luft. Had a mate in two. Well, I've done worse things. What to do? I mean, I can check and drive him up to this square and then drop back here. Not sure what I want to do. Bishop here he takes. It's a problem. There. Oh, because the bishop supports it. I'm not sure about this. He has a check here. Maybe he can do something good. Yeah, we'll go back and look at that mate in two after the game. I should have, yeah. I guess I should have just taken his rook when he doubled, because my queen. No, but he had queen takes. His queen was defending. The mate in two was queen e8. He takes. And then I had the rook behind it. Yeah. You're right. Queen and rook were lined up here. He had a rook here. Easy mate in two. That's a very simple pattern. Yeah, I was wondering why he was thinking so hard there. He's just looking for something more, I guess. Looks like this is going to dissolve into something kind of equalish. But I have the worst structure here, and he won the pawn. Very annoying. Time is not the problem. What the problem is that I'm losing. that's the problem. Well, maybe I'll get a draw out of it. Whatever. Eventually, something's got to break here. Maybe it's me. It's still one of those theoretical draws, I think, but it's a bit tricky to play. He has before, he had before. Before. Well, I'm keeping up on the time. The more pawns that get exchanged off, the easier this is going to be. But he's going to have that passer here, huh? Ah, he accepted that. Okay, I'll take the draw. Here, let's go to the analysis board. That was very nice of him to offer a draw. I wasn't at all sure about this. I mean, the problem is if I step this way, he comes in with the king. You know, I have a very passive position here. I think that's winning for him. If I step up, I was kind of counting on this step up because his rook isn't checking me here along this row. His king is blocking. But say he just keeps the rook here. I can never take. So what do? I start checking his king, I guess. I don't know. Maybe something like this is a draw. I can't. Yeah, I can never take the G pawn. So, but maybe he can never make progress too. He could get in trouble. So you have to keep the threats going to keep his king from getting active. See if I ever come here now, I can take this one. I don't know. I probably would have played on myself. Alpha, alpha, 3 and 2 casual. Yeah, we can play. Okay, Alpha Alpha is leading in our match by a score of 2.5 to 1.5. And we've got a Caro-Kann playing the short variation. I don't know the Tal variation of the Caro-Kann. H4. You know, I tried playing that and I always got in trouble, so I just gave up after a while. I'm bringing my knights over to the king side. He didn't do anything against the center, which is kind of interesting. I'm going to try and prove that his position is somewhat crowded over here on the king side. So he wants to keep the bishop. What do I want to do, though? That is the question. I could do h4 now. He could take it. Yeah, I guess I need another piece on h4, huh? Yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure what to play here. I'm going for b4. Two rooks and a pawn versus a queen. Uh-huh. Okay, now I have to take because I want to play bishop here, and it would leave this undefended. Sad. Sad but true. He can still win a pawn here. He'll have a backwards pawn here. He pushes. Whoa. Talk about Mr. Positional. Well, I don't need the bishop anymore. Let's trade off one of those knights. He can take this pawn. He finally does. Okay, and then he wins this pawn. I think he's winning this game. Yeah, it's all bad. All bad for me. Anyway, I want to put my knight somewhere. Here. Here. Yeah, I could have gone there with the knight. Ah, stupid, stupid, stupid. Yeah, let's play another game. I was just playing badly there. Just plain bad play. Take his knight. Maybe. It was a free piece. Yeah, I was somehow disconcerted, I guess. But I did not like that game. No Traxler. But we have the Neo-Archangelsk variation. I like this one. He played a slow move there. Does that mean I can castle? Isn't it a free pawn now? There's always bishop to d5, forking the two loose knights. Yep. So they played that. Yeah, he played this move and I played this move, but other than that, this is pretty standard. It stops the pin, so let's get castled and put pressure on the center. Maybe this is a free pawn now. Does he have some great discovery with his knight? So you always have to be careful in the Ruy Lopez putting the knight in front of the queen. I mean, it's part of the normal plan, but you want to make sure your center is okay before doing that. Riskov is playing very quickly. How are we doing on the whole road to 1800 thing? 1768. I think that's better than where I started. Yeah, let's push a pawn. I don't have any dark squared bishop to harass this knight anymore. Let's go after this pawn. So we got two pieces on it. What can we do? I could put the knight here. The rook here defends this pawn. Knight here takes. I'll take with the rook. I kind of like the way this shaped up for me. The bumpy road to 1800. Queen there. Keep that pawn firmly blockaded. He did trade off the dark squared bishop and free up this pawn, so if he could move his knight, then he could push that pawn. Bishop b6. b6 is where the rook is. You mean b7? I was thinking this idea. I can take his knight now and just give him the check. I'm not sure I like that. Just taking the knight. It opens up, I'll have the check, but the king will step aside and then there'll be a backfire. There will be a backfire here. Okay, so his idea is to push forward with these guys. So I go here, he plays f5. I can take it. I mean f4. I said I could take that. Were you not listening? And now my rook is pretty solid there. Anyway, what I want to do, I've been trying to get in bishop takes h3 the whole time. And he's always been playing moves that have prevented me from getting that. But I still want to get that in. I still want to do that. And of course, he's got this obsession about pushing this pawn forward so he can checkmate me, but I think I can keep that blockaded for a while longer. He noticed I wanted to play bishop h3. So let's see, I could take his rook now. Or I could do this. Find some other use for my bishop. Okay. I can still blockade that pawn. That pawn is not going anywhere, sir. Yeah, I should route my rook around to do something useful. Actually, I could play c5 now, right? because he takes. I take here with check. I just have to get back in time to stop this. Maybe I should just play G6 and stop him from mating me. It attacks my rook. I see. Here, let's bring the rook back. Two, three, four, five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have 2 pawns up. And I don't see the attack going anywhere, but still, these things must be played. So let's double over here. Yeah, let's liberate my bishop a little bit. The free pawn on b2. Yeah, I didn't want to take it, but now I want to play c5. Just got to make sure he doesn't mate me. Let's see. So bishop here and queen here would be mate if the rook and queen left their proving ground. Yeah, he can't play rook f1. He doesn't have anything anymore. Yeah, it's all vanished in the mist. Yeah, well, that trying to be aggressive strategy, that's worked on me before. I had noticed that the bishop was guarding that square. So now, yeah, now it's just hope chess. Here, I'm gonna do this, put my king up here, and then I'm going to push this pawn. What's the best way to do this? Rook here first. Yeah, there's almost a mate threat, but his bishop is guarding here. Problems. Maybe I should have brought the rook over here. I guess I can still do that. Yeah, he's putting up quite a fight here, wriggling and squirming. But rook to f2 looks dangerous. Move the king over and trick him into taking the pawn with the bishop. And then skewer. Okay, looks like he's going for this pawn over here, or this check here. He's going for that check. Check and check. He ran out of time. Anyway, let's go back to that previous game, the one that I lost. It's a free knight, huh? Yeah. Knight takes knight. And his whole empire collapses. Yeah, so I was just didn't like the way the game was going and I gave up too soon. That's the moral there. Don't give up. Just because you don't like it, you should still stop and think. Is your opponent really playing okay? Here we go. Back to the Réti. And the Réti gambit. Aha, he defends. Okay, we'll set up a fianchetto here. Maybe we'll do a double fianchetto here. Oh, wrong move. I meant to play b3. Meant to play b3 here. This is the other Réti gambit, the one that isn't any good. The check didn't work, I guess, because his knight would defend. It's a kind of orangutan. It looks like a bad one. I should probably take this pawn in the center before it gets out of hand here. Jim's gambit, yeah. A sad day. Okay, so I don't really like that bishop there, but I'm not sure what to do about it. Oh, he conveniently retreated it. So knight here, he can push the pawn. And I can go knight here and take it, I guess. So he defends. Now, knight here, he just takes. Could go knight here anyway. Maybe. Maybe this is a playable line. And rook to the B file. Yeah, I tricked him into playing that move. And getting a solid center. That was my plan all along. He noticed that was weak. Okay, I've opened up this diagonal towards my king, but I do have a square for the bishop here. Oh, he's noticed something. Oops. He's noticed that there's a weakness here. And there's still a weakness there. Bird, but down a pawn. In other words, if it weren't so bad, it might be good. Yeah, maybe I should have saved my bishop. But I wanted to put this bishop here and gang up on this pawn. Now bishop here. Maybe he can sack the exchange at some time. At some point. Oh, that's clever. That's pretty nasty. I have to move the queen. There is a check here. Here. So I go here with the bishop, which is the move I want to play anyway. He moves the knight somewhere. I move the queen with check. And then I move my rook. In this case, I take the knight. Yeah, backfire tactic, huh? Backfire tactic for sure. That pawn is pinned. This rook is hanging. B7 is hanging. Stuff hanging all over. Okay, let's take the rook first. And take here. And he resigned. Yeah, you know, I was thinking, I saw that when you put that bishop there. Sir, when you put that bishop there, I noticed. And I had a plan. I didn't just play this move because I had no plan. I was opening up this line for my queen check. And this knight has no great moves. It can go, let's see, where can it go? Maybe it has a great move. It could go here or here. I mean, he played this move because it's a double attack on my queen, forgetting that my queen, or overlooking that my queen had a good move. So it could go here, 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 here. Going here is good, but then that would be two pieces. This would be two pieces for a rook. So that's still okay. I think he just shouldn't move the knight. Ah, here. Goes here. I pin the knight. He takes here. And I take the knight with check, and then I get the bishop back. It's still two pieces for a rook. Hey, I don't think there's any way to make this tactic work. Jim's Gambit success. There we go. Okay, let's play another one. Oh, yeah, okay, we looked at the hanging piece that I missed. Okay, back to d4. Play a normalish kind of opening. Oh, he wants to play the Caro-Kann, but I just did that one of those, so we're going to avoid that. Do the two knights defense just for a Traxler. So it looks like he's going for some kind of pierce Is he going to fianchetto? No, he's not. Maybe he's going to play the hippopotamus. No, but it's sort of like the hippopotamus. Resembles. Okay, if I put a knight here, castle, and push this pawn. Yeah, I want to play f4 against this kind of setup, but I don't know if it's any good here. Just play, oh, knight h3 and then push the pawn to f4. Yeah, maybe that's the way to do it. Let's try this. Then I don't have to take back with a pawn. Well, there was also the bishop there. But this comes with the threat now on g4, g5. He can push, but that'll close things up, and knight can go to f2. This pawn is still defended. Yeah, I like your knight h3 idea. Okay. What to do about the dark squares here? He's got the bishop. Maybe knight here. Just push this pawn up. Knight can come here. If he wants to chase it, he has to play f6. Or I could put a bishop here. I think I'm going to delay castling until I see more of what his setup looks like. And it looks like he's trying to figure out what his setup looks like too. Is there a way to just put direct pressure on this bishop? Knight here, from here. Okay, we'll start like this. Queen up, knight back. The bishop was a bit of a liability over here because this push, if I don't take, he pushes again and the bishop has to move anyway. I have pretty good control over this square with the knight and bishop, so I'm not worried about his knight here. Lift my queen up, so I'm ready to castle kingside. I can bring this knight around here to here to here. A knight journey like, oops, excuse me, knight journey like this. Knight to here, to here, to here. Although he might just trade it off. So it'd be a lot of work for nothing. So rather than do that, what else? Well, lifting the queen up seems like a good move anyway. Okay, he moved his bishop. Just want to move the bishop out of the way now and have the big center. Yeah, maybe that's it. Just push that e-pawn. Especially now that he's committed his king. I wonder if that was a... well, he's not asking for a take back. I mean, he might have intended to castle, but he might have intended that to keep his rook on this file. Anyway, that's another argument for pushing these pawns forward. Yeah, go for the attack. Okay, that's what he's doing. He's going for the attack. Hmm. Yeah, if I move the knight, he can just take there, huh? Don't move that knight. Don't touch that knight. Now, e4, e5, and a trade, then this bishop is in trouble. But my knight is in trouble too, huh? Okay, I need to defend the bishop. So yeah, my timing was a little off. I should have gotten in e4 sooner. Shut down some of this nonsense. He can put a bishop on this diagonal. It looks pretty good. Didn't do it. He can push this pawn forward and win the knight. And he went for the check. Interesting. Yeah, the check was kind of a waste. Okay, he wants to bring his king into the game. What do I do? I want to play e4. Aha, that was your idea too. Rook e1. Yeah, and also it opens up queen to defend along this rank, so that's all good. Finally, e4, e5. Just as he's about to kill me. I mean, my knight is still trapped here, so it's not going anywhere. Ah, now he spotted that idea. Yeah, too bad for me. What can I do? Maybe I played that wrong. Well, oh, the knight can go here now. That's what I can do. Saved by the bell here. Okay, I take the bishop. He takes, and he's preparing to double on this file and mate me. Still. Could go here with the knight and hit the queen. Yeah, I hate to get into this opposite colored bishop situation. Now, can I somehow grab a pawn over here? I can take the queen. I saw that before I saw your message. Yeah, that's how you win some of these games. And he's still playing. Okay. Time pressure. Yeah, he was down to 12 seconds. I guess that's why he's playing on now, is he thinks I might mess up in time pressure too. Could happen. I'm just going to take this pawn, take the bishop, take the rook. He timed out. Okay. A lucky escape for me. So we're up to 1786. That's pretty good. Partway there to the old 1800. Has happened to me. Yeah, it's happened to me too. Okay, I think I did a Sicilian, so let's do a French. It was a weird opening, yeah. Yeah, not one of those openings I like, that Peart's. It's like a Peart's, except he went with G5 instead of G6. But I have trouble. I struggle against that opening. Will he play the Milner-Barry gambit? No. Yeah, he's playing very conservatively here. So I guess I need to develop. I always have trouble deciding whether to put the knight here or here. Let's take first. Now if I play knight to f5, it's threatening the pawn. But this little pawn move he played keeps me from developing this bishop out here. These squares are covered. And if the bishop goes here, then this knight can't retreat anymore. So it's a bit awkward for me. But for now, he has to do something about the pawn. Or not. How's this work? If I go here, and he brings the bishop out, I take it. I go here, he brings the bishop out. I take here with check. I guess that works either way. There's also knight takes bishop with check. Ways to escape from the pin are necessary. Then what? I could push this pawn. But he would probably just... yeah, step aside with the queen. I guess he has rook here to chase the queen. Okay, let's get developed. I mean, get castled. Yeah, I guess if he played rook there immediately, I could have taken the pawn. Maybe, mayhap. So he wants to do some clever tactic with his knight. Let's step away from that. I want to play a6 and bishop b5 and skewer the queen and rook. But this knight is in the way. I could put rook here first. Now, he moved anyway. Okay, so I have to move the pawn before I move the rook. I guess that's necessary. Yeah, now he's looking at dangerous things. It's now the time for f8. f6, maybe. Maybe it was. So I can put my bishop here, skewering, but then he puts his rook here, threatening mate. So it's kind of a, Yeah, I thought the skewer loses, right? Bishop here, skewer, rook here. If I take the rook, he mates me. And what else? I can defend the bishop, but then he can attack it. I think he wins a piece there. This is weakening. You know, maybe his queen comes in here, but his dark squared bishop is kind of out of the way. So he goes there. Well, I can. We pawn up. Oh, he can take it, of course. He was waiting for that one. I can always go bishop h6. Ah, defending. Nice, nice, nice. Well, what do I do then? Fianchetto my bishop. I was kind of waiting to see if there's anything he could do. Yeah, he can bring his bishop around. So I have an eye at least on these squares. So it's not easy for him to do a rook and queen. Not easy for him to do a rook and queen kind of battery. And then I can bring this rook over here. Okay, so he stepped aside there. Now I can play here. A bit tricky. Yeah, I want to play rook h8. That's the plan. And this knight here is actually, oh, it's not pinned. The queen is actually defending the rook. And the knight was pinned for a while, but at the moment it'll have a little trouble getting into the game. It can't come directly in like this. It's got to go by a roundabout route. Okay, he's catching up with me on the clock. Always good to see. Take your time, sir. Think it over. Yeah, there he goes. Think it over. Yeah, if I distract the rook, maybe I can put the bishop here. Ah, he just goes there. Well, I will take. Because then my queen comes out. Unless it was doing something vital. It was doing something vital. It was doing something vital indeed. It was guarding that square. Good point. And then he can bring his queen in here. I can put my bishop here or here. Yeah. So I put the bishop here. He can take the pawn. But yeah, now his knight is pinned. After the queen takes the pawn, I can lift my rook up here. Maybe bring it over here. It's defending this guy. He has the check. I go up and defend the queen. He defends this pawn. But he's got to move the queen again. I want to play queen here. Looking at the rook from this angle. He has knight e2. Yeah, that's right. Knight e2 defending the rook. That is true. He brought his queen to defend that diagonal. How about if I just come all the way out here? There's no immediate checks, right? And I'm threatening his knight. So he goes there with the queen. So is this a good endgame for me? His knight is still pinned. Just one pawn up. But he will have these ugly doubled pawns. I'll go for it. I will even help him undouble. Will I? Will I help him undouble? I'll just come up with the king, I think. Ah. So wholesale liquidation is in order. Take this one in the center. Now we'll take this one here. Pawn on the edge was more dangerous. Now the one in the center. And I will just, oh, I can't do that. I cannot do that yet. Okay, king here. Think he's in trouble. Think he's in big trouble. Now I can take the pawn and queen. Can also play d2. How about if I just take? And go here. Looks like I got him. Could have just queened right there. Yeah, I missed my idea sometimes. But it still wins because I get the last pawn. And I know how to mate with the rook. He decided to resign. Okay, well, that was it for this stream. I did pretty well if we look at my profile here for a second. I don't know how much of this you can see, but my blitz rank has gotten all the way back to 1791. Yeah, it's the blue line at the bottom. You can see a little tick up at the end. Is there a way to zoom in a little bit? Okay. Anyway, let's take a second here and see who else is streaming. Somebody we can raid. In the chess category. There's a 220K Giri versus Nepomniachtchi match with the Gotham Chess. King's Crusher is playing. Ginger GM. Daniel King and Simon Williams. Match commentary. Yeah, let's go raid the Ginger GM. And here we go. Back to my thing. Okay, I started the raid. So yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for all your good comments and stuff. Remember to check out my YouTube channels, Jim Plays Go and Jim's Chess channel. And we have viewers ready to raid now. So we are raiding. See you next time. Bye.